Welcome back, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating chapters of American numismatics, the United States steel wheat penny, 1-cent coins without a mint mark. These coins are not just ordinary pennies, they are a piece of history, a collectible treasure, and in some cases, a ticket to significant financial value. We'll explore the top 3 most valuable steel wheat pennies in varying conditions, discuss their history, unique features, rarity, market value, and even provide tips for collectors. So, whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting your coin collection journey, stick around because this is a story you don't want to miss. So let's get started. First, move up. We are diving into one of the most iconic, most talked about, and most misunderstood coins in all of American numismatics. The famous 1943 steel wheat penny without mint mark, especially in that unique silver-gray color shade and rusty condition that collectors often encounter. This coin looks different, feels different, and carries a powerful history that goes back to the heart of World War II. And in today's active collector market, this little 1-cent coin can still bring big value in dollars depending on its condition, rarity features, and demand. So sit back, relax, and let's explore everything about the 1943 steel penny made in Philadelphia. To understand this coin, we first have to go back to the history and background of 1943. During World War II, the United States was facing a major shortage of copper because it was needed for military equipment, ammunition, communication wires, and battlefield machinery. The government made the decision to temporarily replace the copper penny with a new metal composition so that every ounce of copper could go toward the war effort. In 1943, the mint created a penny made from steel coated with a thin layer of zinc, giving it a shiny silver-gray appearance unlike any other penny in American history. The version without mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use mint marks during that era. More than 1 billion were produced, but many have become rusted, damaged, or lost over time, making high-quality survivors desirable and collectible today. When it comes to unique features, the 1943 steel wheat penny stands out immediately. Unlike the regular copper pennies that people were used to seeing, this coin shines with a silver-gray metallic tone that can slowly turn darker or rusty if exposed to moisture, air, or chemical damage. On the obverse, you see the classic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln facing right, along with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 1943. Since there is no mint mark, you instantly know it came from Philadelphia. On the reverse, the coin carries the traditional wheat ears designed by Victor David Brenner, with 1 cent, United States of America, and E pluribus unum. The zinc coating is thin and can wear off, revealing the darker steel underneath, which is why collectors often find these coins with rust spots, gray patches, and a variety of surface tones. This gives each coin its own character and history. Even though the 1943 steel penny was made in large numbers, its rarity depends heavily on condition. A rusty coin or one with heavy corrosion is common, but one with clean surfaces, sharp details, and strong original luster is much harder to find. Collectors particularly search for examples that still retain their smooth silver-gray shine without deep pits or structural damage. Coins that were stored safely in dry environments survived better, while those kept in pockets, drawers, or humid areas usually show rust or discoloration. The Philadelphia no mint mark steel penny also has a few collectible varieties like doubled dies, off-center strikes, and transitional errors, which can raise the value dramatically. For collectors, the challenge is finding coins with good eye appeal, original surfaces, and the least amount of corrosion possible. Now let's talk about the current market value in dollars. A typical circulated 1943 steel penny without mint mark in rusty or worn condition may be worth anywhere from $288,000. However, if the coin still shows nice silver-gray color, minimal rust, and clear details, it can bring anywhere from $350,000 depending on the buyer. High-grade examples certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC can sell for $465,000 when the quality is exceptional. And rare varieties, like doubled dies or coins with dramatic mint errors, can reach into the $1 million. The market remains active because collectors of all levels want at least one steel penny in their collection, making this coin a solid performer in auctions and online sales. For collectors who want to invest or preserve these coins, there are a few simple tips worth remembering. Always handle steel pennies carefully because the zinc layer scratches easily, and once the steel underneath is exposed, rust can form quickly. Store your coins in a dry, airtight holder or coin flip to protect them from moisture. Avoid cleaning or polishing because this damages the surface and lowers the value, even if the coin looks shiny afterward. Learn how to identify varieties and watch for unusual details because small differences can lead to big value jumps. Most importantly, pay attention to the coin's eye appeal, luster, and structural condition before buying or selling. The 1943 steel wheat penny without mint mark is much more than an ordinary coin. It tells the story of a nation at war, a moment in history when everyday materials became precious, and a time when even a 1-cent coin had to change to support the country. Today, this silver gray, sometimes rusty little penny continues to capture the imagination of collectors around the world. Whether it's found in a family drawer, a metal detector hunt, or a coin shop tray, it remains a fascinating piece of American heritage with real potential value in today's auction market. Next up, the 1943 steel wheat penny without mint mark, found in a brown, rusty color shade, and becoming a surprising treasure in today's auction market. This simple 1-cent coin tells a powerful story of history, national emergency, and the unexpected rise of a penny that was never meant to look like the typical Lincoln cent we all know. So sit back, relax, and let's take a journey through the origins, features, value, and collector importance of this iconic wartime coin. To understand the 1943 steel wheat penny, we must go back to the height of World War II. In 1943, the United States Mint was under intense pressure to conserve copper for military use, especially for weapons, communications wiring, and shell casings that were desperately needed on the battlefield. As a result, the government ordered the mint to temporarily replace the traditional bronze composition of pennies with a new experimental material that could save roughly 40 million pounds of copper for the war effort. The solution was zinc-coated steel. For 1 year only, in 1943, the United States produced millions of Lincoln cents made from steel with a thin outer layer of zinc to prevent rusting. These coins were struck at all 3 major mints, but the ones made in Philadelphia came without any mint mark, just like the one we're focusing on today. While the idea seemed practical, the public reaction was mixed. Many people confused the coin with a dime, and the steel metal quickly began showing signs of wear, corrosion, and rust. Even though the plan worked for its purpose, the experiment ended after 1 year, making the 1943 steel penny one of the most recognized wartime coins in American history. When examining the unique features of the 1943 steel penny, especially one without a mint mark, there are a few important details to pay attention to. The first thing collectors notice is the silver-gray steel color, which often transforms into shades of brown or rusty orange when the protective zinc layer wears away. In rusty condition, the coin displays patchy surfaces, darker tones, and sometimes rough texture, showing how steel reacts to moisture over time. On the front of the coin, we see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln with the words, "In God we trust." Above his head, Liberty, to the left, and the date 1943 to the right with no mint mark underneath. The absence of a mint mark confirms that the coin was struck in Philadelphia. On the reverse side, the classic wheat ears design appears with the words 1 cent and United States of America, surrounded by 2 wheat stalks, along with the motto, E pluribus unum, at the top. Because the coin was made from steel instead of bronze, it is magnetic, lightweight, and has a completely different metallic sound when tapped. These characteristics make it stand out among every other Lincoln cent ever produced. As for rarity and collector demand, the 1943 steel penny without mint mark is not rare in normal circulated condition because millions were minted. However, what makes rusty, brown-shaded examples interesting is that they reflect natural aging and environmental exposure, which attracts collectors who study variations in color and preservation. While a rusty coin is not considered high-grade, some collectors specifically search for original, untouched examples to document how the coin has survived over 80 years. What truly affects collector demand is the condition. Mint-state coins can be extremely desirable, but heavily rusted or corroded coins fall into the lower category. Still, because of the historical significance of wartime steel pennies, even low-grade examples remain in demand. The Philadelphia version is the most common, yet it still holds strong collector interest due to its unique composition and prominent role in U.S. mint history. When it comes to today's market value, the condition of the coin plays the biggest role. A 1943 steel penny in rusty, brown-orange condition is typically worth a modest value, often ranging from $375,000 depending on severity of corrosion. However, in the auction market, coins with interesting toning, original surfaces, or unusual color patterns sometimes attract premium buyers who enjoy collecting varieties and naturally aged metal. In higher grades, such as bright, clean, uncorroded steel examples, values can rise into the $868,000. Truly exceptional, certified mint-state coins can sell for much more. The key point is that while rust lowers the value, collectors still purchase these coins because of their iconic place in American history and the uniqueness of steel-based coinage. For collectors interested in owning or evaluating a 1943 steel penny, there are a few important tips to remember. Always check whether the coin is magnetic, because this confirms it is made of steel, not the rare bronze error. Avoid cleaning rusty coins, as cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce the value. Store the coin in a dry environment to prevent further rusting. If the coin is heavily corroded, keep it in a protective sleeve to slow down deterioration. And whenever possible, consider submitting cleaner, Better condition examples to professional grading services, as certified grades significantly increase collector confidence and market value. The 1943 steel wheat penny without mint mark remains an unforgettable piece of American wartime history. Whether found in bright steel color or in brown, rusty shades caused by decades of natural aging, this coin continues to fascinate collectors with its story, its appearance, and its importance to the U.S. Mint. Even in low-grade condition, it holds collector value, and in high-grade form it can become a surprisingly valuable treasure in today's auction market. It stands as a reminder of a time when the nation had to adapt, innovate, and sacrifice even in something as small as a penny. Next up, the legendary United States 1943 steel wheat penny without a mint mark. This unique 1-cent piece, often seen in a dark silver gray or even rusty shade due to age and surface oxidation, has become a true legend in today's coin market. Whether you found one in an old drawer, inherited a coin jar, or discovered it while metal detecting, this coin has the power to surprise collectors with its story, charm, and potential value in real dollars. So sit back as we explore everything from its history to its current market price and why collectors today are willing to pay big money depending on its condition. The story of the 1943 steel penny begins during World War II. The United States needed copper for ammunition, shell casings, communication wires, and essential war machinery. In an effort to conserve materials for the battlefield, the U.S. Mint made a bold decision. For 1 year only, in 1943, pennies would be struck not from copper but from low-carbon steel coated with a thin layer of zinc. This was the first and only year in U.S. history when the standard 1-cent coin was produced with a steel composition. The Philadelphia Mint, which used no mint mark, produced the majority of these coins. Because of the zinc coating, freshly minted 1943 steel pennies appeared bright, shiny, and silver-like, which amazed the public who had never seen a silver-colored penny before. Over time, however, these coins began to show their true nature. Steel, unlike copper, is prone to oxidation. As the zinc layer wore down, the exposed metal reacted with moisture and oxygen, causing the coin to take on a darker silver-gray shade, eventually developing brown or reddish rust spots. That's why many surviving examples today are found in dark silver-gray, rusty, or spotted condition. These natural aging signs have become part of the coin's identity and tell the story of its journey through more than 8 decades of American history. When it comes to features, the 1943 steel wheat penny carries the classic wheat ear design created by Victor D. Brenner. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's portrait stands boldly at the center. Above him is the famous motto, "In God We Trust," with the word "Liberty" on the left and the date, 1943, on the right. Because this is the Philadelphia struck version, there is no mint mark under the date. The reverse features 2 elegant wheat stalks curving upward on each side, surrounding the inscriptions, 1 cent, and United States of America, along with the traditional motto, E pluribus unum, placed at the top. What makes these coins visually striking is the steel core that gives them a cold metallic appearance, very different from the warm tone of copper pennies. The rarity of the 1943 no mint mark steel penny varies greatly depending on its condition. In circulated condition, the coin itself is not extremely rare, because millions were produced. However, the true rarity begins with how well the coin has survived. Coins that remain fully zinc-coated, bright, shiny, and free from rust are much harder to find. Rusty, pitted, or heavily worn coins are common, but pieces that maintain most of their original luster or those that appear almost untouched can command much higher prices. Dark gray and lightly rusted examples still attract collectors who value the history and character of a coin that has traveled through time. The Philadelphia steel penny becomes more desirable when the surfaces are clean, the details in Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks are sharp, and the metal has not been eaten away by corrosion. Higher grade examples have earned certification and have sold for big money at auctions. In today's collector market, the value of a 1943 steel wheat penny without a mint mark depends heavily on its overall condition. A dark silver-gray example with light rust or moderate wear may be worth anywhere from $325,000. If the coin is in very fine or extremely fine condition with sharp detail and minimal corrosion, values can reach $445,000 or more. Coins that still show bright original zinc coating can bring in even higher prices, even up to $550,000. And when you enter the uncirculated and mint-state grades, the value rises significantly. A certified high-grade piece can sell from $763,000 depending on shine, strike quality, and surface cleanliness. Rare near-perfect specimens have even crossed the $1 million mark in major auctions, proving that this wartime penny still has the power to attract big money today. Collectors searching for the 1943 steel penny should keep a few important tips in mind. Always examine the coin's surface carefully to identify how much zinc remains and how much rust has formed. Avoid cleaning the coin aggressively because cleaning can permanently damage the metal and lower its value. If you believe your coin is in exceptionally high condition, consider having it graded by a professional certification service to increase trust and marketability. Keeping steel pennies in a dry environment is essential to prevent further rusting. Plastic holders, airtight capsules, or anti-corrosion storage methods can help preserve the surface for years to come. The 1943 no-mint mark steel wheat penny stands as one of America's most historically important wartime coins. Its dark silver gray or rusty shades tell the story of a nation conserving resources during World War II while still producing currency that has now become a collector's treasure. Whether your coin is well-worn or in brilliant uncirculated condition, it holds a unique place in numismatic history, and its value in the market continues to grow as collectors appreciate both its story and its survival. If you own one, keep it safe, and if you're searching for one, you just might be holding a piece of history worth real money. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare US coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video about the most fascinating coins and collectibles in the market today. Stay tuned for more rare coin insights, and happy collecting!